Pension Secretariat formed.
We do have to recognize that we have a responsibility to the country as a whole. And therefore, we are moving, and now we have set up officially a pension secretariat.
Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report, I am Rakisha St. Louis. A pension secretariat has been set up to speed up the process of pension reform. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, says it's all part of efforts as government continues to work aggressively to solve the problem. He told a meeting of the House of Representatives on Friday that while they understand the call by the union's leadership for more action, government has to ensure the correct formula is agreed upon.
But we are in a position which is quite different, while agreeing with them and of course supporting the position for the need to deal with the problem as we have announced in Truant speech and budget speech and other speeches. We do have to recognize that we have a responsibility to the country as a whole. And therefore, we are moving, and now we have set up officially a pension secretariat, which would be, of course, staffed appropriately with the necessary professionals to speed up that process. So, Mr. Speaker, I make the announcement here today, to inform that, in fact, that secretariat has been established. In fact, up to yesterday, we held another meeting examining how we can proceed.
The Finance Minister pointed out that from all the requests being made, all payments are coming from one source.
So we cannot discuss pension increase in isolation of one-off payment. You cannot have all the one-off payment that you want. All the pension increases you expect to get, all the increases in wages that you expect to get, all the other benefits, allowances, and whether it's clothes allowance, whether it's travel allowance, all the other stuff comes from one pot.
Opposition claims about Grenada's CBI program rubbished in the face of gold standard branding. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has brushed aside opposition claims about Grenada's rapidly growing citizens by investment program. Prime Minister Mitchell told a sitting of the House of Representatives on Friday that the CBI program is sound and has been gaining significant ground. The Prime Minister's comments come on the heels of a public statement from the International Monetary Fund branding the Grenada program as a gold standard.
I think the only reason that those elements who are making these statements about the program, the only reason they're doing it, Mr. Speaker, because as usual, anything that brings resources to this country, any initiative this government takes, that brings opportunities, investment, employment, and development and economic activity, they will oppose it. They have never supported one initiative, never one single initiative that this government has in fact come forward with.
Official figures confirm that the CBI has been growing rapidly, with more applications received from January to August this year compared with the last 2 years combined. To date, more than 410 applications have been processed, resulting in millions of dollars flowing into the local economy.
They want a destroyed country because that's the only condition they perceive that will give them an opportunity for power. So they don't mind getting a baked country to manage. It's all about power for myself. The people does not matter. But this government, Mr. Speaker, believes the people is the fundamental basis that we all are here, Mr. Speaker.
Grenada's CBI program was off to a slow start due to a strict multiple-layered due diligence process beyond most CBI countries. This strict due diligence process is considered the reason the IMF deemed Grenada to be the gold standard of CBI programs.
The committee presently, the board overseeing the program goes through every single application. And the committee of the CBI comprises professionals who certainly, whose credibility have not been questioned by even those individuals. And they go through every application. In fact, many of their meetings have gone for 4 hours, 3 and 4 hours, Mr. Speaker, because they look at the documentation for every single application.
Grenada's CBI program is the only one where a committee makes recommendations to the cabinet on applicants. Other countries' law says the CEO must make the recommendations. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The house was shaking. Then suddenly saw we hear bang, crack, and the roof had gone.
Man, I was so scared, I nearly wet myself.
Only those who have lived it can truly understand the devastating fury of a hurricane's wind.
The house across the road just get up and roll over.
Hurricane force wind. It's a hazard. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. You can hurricane-proof your home. For example, make your roof more wind-resistant by using screws instead of nails in its construction. Find out more about hurricane force winds and other hazards at your local disaster office.
A message from the National Disaster Management Agency and Secretariat.
Grenada is receiving assistance to reduce a backlog of cases in the Civil Division. New Justice of the High Court, Mr. Ralston Glasgow, who arrived here earlier this week, was sworn in on Thursday. The appointment of Mr. Glasgow, who served here as Chief Legal Counsel from 2004 to 2006, takes effect September 1st. Legal Affairs Minister Honorable Elvin Nimrod says government is committed to ensure that justice is served for all despite the costs that would come with this.
I know that the government has a real compelling interest in making sure that justice is done, and so the government is putting its money where its mouth is, and so this additional justice, of course, will cost the government a pretty sum, but we believe that of course, there are no amount too great to pay for justice, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as you know, the court system has been clogged up, and a lot is backlog in the court system. This mainly because people become more litigating in their approach. At one point, of course, people would just sleep on their rights. But now, it seems that everybody knows his or her rights, and so they file their action, and so the court there's backlog. And Mr. Speaker, this additional judge, or this additional justice would of course, help us to remove that backlog, so that, of course, justice could be given to all those who enter the courts.
35 persons have registered their businesses and 11 business plans have been approved at a total value of $145,000. It is one of the high points of the just concluded small business training, which was conducted by the Ministry of Youth under the Grenada Youth Enterprise Initiative GYEI. The 2-month business lab workshop, which was completed by 40 persons, targeted people between the ages of 18 to 35 to be trained in leadership, marketing, business management, and IT in business. At the end, they were encouraged to present business plans which will earn them an opportunity to receive financial assistance to start their businesses. Economist Lennox Andrews says government can only give the start and facilitate the business process.
How can government help us and help you? Precisely what government has done. Train you, prepare you, that's a help. Government is a facilitator and a regulator. Government could make it easy for us to do what we have to do. What the government can do to facilitate you is construct the road. Facilitator, construct the road, give you easy access to your land. And now that you have easy access to your land, you can now go in and plant and produce cut flower. And that cut flower is a contribution to the economy of the country.
Minister for Youth, Senator Pamela Moses, encouraged the participants to maintain their composure during the many challenges they may face.
You will meet obstacles, lots of it. I just want you to dust yourself off and rise again. People will tell you that you're not going to make it. I just want you to, shake your hair back and smile and tell them, yes, you can. They will tell you that people fail in business, that 50% of businesses, people fail, they have to start again. I want you to let them know that, yes, that is true, but you can do it.
The Grenada Youth Enterprise Initiative started in 2003, and it is jointly organized by the Government of Grenada and the Grenada Development Bank. And that's the National Report. I am Rikisha St. Louis.